Then Narottam Das Thakur, he says, Sadhu Shastra Guru Vakya Chiteta Karya Aikya. One should accept the thing as genuine by studying the words of saintly people, the spiritual master and the Shastra. The actual center is the Shastra, the revealed scripture. If a spiritual master does not speak according to the revealed scripture, he is not to be accepted. Similarly, if a saintly person does not speak according to the Shastra, he is not a saintly person. The Shastra is the center for all. So this is from Srila Prabhupada's purport in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So we learn about how we should chant, or what is the wrong way, by the scriptures. So there is a great quote here also. What is the result of chanting? Krishna mantra haibe ahabe samsara muchana, Krishna nama haite pavera krishnera charana. Simply by chanting the whole name of Krishna one can obtain freedom from material existence. Indeed, simply by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra one will be able to see the lotus feet of the Lord. So the great effect of chanting, which gives liberation even to a sinful person, that's seen vividly in the case of Ajamil. Yeah, so that's from Srimad Bhagavatam, the 6th canto. So here we have Itavatala Maganirhara Naya Pumsam Sankirtanam Bhagavato Guna Karmanam Nam Vikrushya Putra Magavan Yadajamilopi Narayaneti Mriyamana Yaya Muktim. Therefore it should be understood that one is easily relieved from all sinful reactions by chanting the whole name of the Lord and chanting of his qualities and activities. This is the only process recommended for relief from sinful reactions. So I just stop there so we can meditate on that. So it's mentioned also what is that? It comes later also in the 6th canto. Then Yamaraj is also saying that actually usually people are going to Yamaraj after this life. But if one does any amount of devotional service, or to speak of chanting, even bowing down to the Lord in the temple, doing service in the temple, doing service to saintly devotees, that is also making one eligible for liberation. But especially in Kali Yuga, the whole name chanting, the Hare Nama or Sankirtanam, that is the most very, very strongly, effectively. The others may or may not be effective, but chanting the whole name is super effective because it has special blessings in this age. So Prabhupada, actually this is the translation of that verse. Even if one chants the whole name of the Lord with improper pronunciation, he will achieve relief from material bondage if he chants without offense. Ajamin, for example, was extremely sinful, but while dying he merely chanted the whole name, and although calling his son, he achieved complete liberation because he remembered the name of Narayan. So I'll take that now, that in the chanting correctly versus incorrectly. Yeah. So first of all, pronunciation should be as in Sanskrit, because the holy names are Sanskrit. Yeah. so we can learn, the Sanskrit pronunciation. It doesn't take that long to see how it should be pronounced. For example, in the back of the Bhagavad Gita there is a pronunciation guide. Or you can learn from somebody who is good at speaking Sanskrit. Yeah, of course now you have videos you can watch to learn that. So we will not get completely into that. So that is one thing. But then, even though not pronounced properly, gives it gives the effect if sincerely done. Yeah. So then we have a mantra which says, I don't remember the beginning of it, but it said that if you're doing so-called Vedic sacrifices, then you have to address the Lord properly according to grammar. For example, if you're going to offer anything to the Lord, you have to say, for example, if you say to Krishna, you have to say Krishnaya. Yeah, that means to Krishna. Yeah. So the in mantras for worship, and sacrifices should be correct in grammar, and should be phonetically correct. Phonetically and grammarly correct. But for Krishna Bhakti, which is Bhakti Yoga, the bhava is it is the all in all, really. Yeah. So that's why I said bhava grahi janardana. Janardana Krishna accepts only your mood. Yeah. Like that. Yeah, so in that way, since chanting is in the mood of bhakti, only bhakti is required. However, if you know what is the correct thing to do, if we know, I should say that, we know what is the correct, we should try as far as practical. Otherwise, it may be taken offensively. It may be offensive. Yeah. Yeah. So Krishna, he says in the Bhagavad Gita, in the 11th canto, Uddhava that his devotees are following the rules of Shastra. Yeah, just like it says in Bhagavatam, Shastri Vidi Utsirja Vartanta Kamakara. He doesn't like those who reject the Shastra. Krishna wants us to follow the Shastra. But also he says that sometimes, out of practicality, they may just you can say prioritize the mood, the bhava. So if they are on that level, yeah, of course, that's the other thing. Yeah. And Krishna doesn't take offense of that if the devotee is actually acting out of pure love. Yeah. So that's one thing. So a little bit about mantra and japa. Yeah. So one thing, first of all, mantra, it means confidential, not to be shared openly. Yeah, that's mantra. Okay. Hare Krishna. Mantra is actually nama. Yeah, the holy name. So it is to be spread freely, spread openly to everyone. Yeah, in Kali Yuga, because Scripture says so. So you have, Shastra Yonitvat. This is the Vedanta Sutra. Yeah. Scriptures are, the authority. Yeah. Directly it means scriptures are the source. Yeah. Yeah. For japa, then you have 3 types. Let's see if we can find that. Yeah. Can't find it now. Let's see, I'll try again. Let's see. Yeah, the 3 types of chanting is loud chanting, and then it's the chanting which only you can hear. Then you're chanting with your lips, and then there is the chanting which is for everybody's hearing, of course, and the process in the Kali Yuga is very very much that we're chanting so everybody can hear, actually, like that. So let's see. I'll put that there. So there are 3 levels of chanting. Yeah. So manasik, the mind. Upamsu is softly, and varchika. So only you can hear it. It can be like whispering. No, sorry, varchika is not whispering. Sorry, varchika is loud, so others can hear. Yeah, manasik is completely in the mind. So this is like smarana. Yeah, the varchika loud is like kirtana. So one place it said that the manasik, according to Hari Bhakti Vilas, OBV, HBV, Hari Bhakti Vilas, most effective. It's like 100 times more effective or something like that. But according to, I think according to Haridas Thakur, yeah, that is most effective. Yeah. So, so it seems like both of them are most effective. So you can choose what you like to do, but in any case, both of them should be done, because Sankirtan, that means, loudly chanting, usually at least, glorifying the Lord's holy names together with others. Yeah. You can say there are a few things. So one is loudly chanting. What does it mean, Sankirtan? Means you're loudly chanting, that's one thing. Glorifying Lord's holy names together with others. And then also using musical instruments. So all these 3 are part of Sankirtan. Yeah. And japa, that would then be a confidential. And then you're using, beads, of course. Tulsi beads for Vaishnavas. Yeah, for devotees. And then, yeah. So bead bag, yeah. And that's in order to keep confidentiality. Yeah. And then there are a few other things that it's done, it's done confidentially and regularly. And what more? Let's see. You can tell me in the chat if you remember. Yeah. But you get the idea. It's like it's different from Sankirtan. You can see a difference at least. Yeah. So then the question is what. Let's see. Is there any numerical strength? Like how much should you chant? I got this question a few days ago, and I just answered that it says you should do it, without break. It says Satatam Kirtayantumam. Yeah. That's from the Bhagavad Gita. Means, always chant my name. Yeah, Krishna says. In many places this is used, and that devotional service should be without a break. Of course, then we understand, there are implications, we have to understand, the implications of scriptural utterings. Doesn't mean it's called Vyanjana Vritti. So that means indicates something. Yeah. So what it indicates is that one should be full-time devotee. That means what we call, a pure devotee. Yeah. Yeah. So in other words, whatever one does is connected in Krishna consciousness. So that is, samadhi. Yeah. But then, for beginners, Srila Prabhupada recommended 16 rounds on japa beads. Yeah, as a daily sadhana, practice. That means chanting for chanting for 2 hours daily. Yeah. But he also said that that gradually it becomes natural to always remember Krishna. So the point is it should come to smarana. It should go from shravana to kirtana to smarana. Yeah. Yeah. Because he also said we should hear about Krishna. Hearing is part of some kirtana yagya. Yeah. So that is hearing, hearing Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, etc. Yeah, because otherwise, if not hearing, then if not hearing, how can we glorify? If not hearing about him, yeah. How can we glorify him? Yeah, we don't have nothing to say. Yeah. So that's why the first thing is Shravanam, hearing, and then next one is then Kirtana. There's nine limbs of devotional service. Shravanam, Kirtanam, and then comes Smaranam. Yeah. Kirtanam, so after hearing we can do chanting, and then Smaranam is remembering, meditating. Yeah. So these are 3 first limbs. Yeah. Yeah. So you can say the 3 limbs. Yeah. So this one, chanting, is the most important. Although of course you need to hear first, but kirtan is the most important, nevertheless. Yeah. So let's see if we can find some evidence for that. Yeah. There is. This is stated in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. It's the nectar of devotion by Rupa Goswami. There is said that out of the 5 most important processes of bhakti, kirtan, or chanting the holy name is the top most. Yeah. So what are those 5? The 5 is 1, chanting, 2, hearing Bhagavatam, so chanting holy name, and it's not in a chronological order, but the first one is the most important anyway. And then deity worship, and then being in a holy place, in Vraj, yeah. And then what was the 5th one? Sadhu Sangha, Vaishnava Sangha. Yeah. Yeah. Association of devotees. Yeah. Krishna's holy place, holy Dhamma. Yeah. Deity worship. That means Radha, Krishna, Gaura, Nitai, etc. Yeah. Here in Bhagavatam, it means studying under the Guru. Yeah. Guru, teacher. Yeah. Krishna's books. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, the book. Yeah. Bhagavatam is a book. Yeah. Chanting the whole name. That can be, kirtan, japa. Yeah. So this is the method. So doing any of the other 5 is also strengthening everything, as we are asked to do all of them. In Iskcon, it's going on like this. Let's see. Later on we will also look at some doubts regarding this. But first of all we'll see some more examples. Yeah. Srila Prabhupada's quotes. see. Yeah, so we have some quotes because we're going to talk about a few more prerequisites to chanting. Prerequisites. Yeah. So what are those? One, you chant the Panchatattva mantra. Yeah. So that we chant Panchatattva mantra before Hare Krishna. Yeah. And two, we can just talk about kirtan actually. Say rules for chanting kirtan. In Iskcon. Yeah, we have to say in Iskcon because it's not the same in other groups. That's very clear. So according to Srila Prabhupada, we chant Panchatattva mantra before we chant Hare Krishna. That we also do in our japa. We also made that it should be just 3 times. Yeah. Because immediately when the devotees started chanting this for minutes and hours, I mean, probably immediately stopped it if it was about 3 times. So that was like became very quickly the standard. Another thing regarding chanting kirtan, what was that? Yeah, should be nicely done. Yeah, I mean, should not be done not in in a bad way. Yeah, with nice mood. Yeah. He sometimes stopped the kirtan if it was like very brutal, you can say, or extremely passionate, so it sounds like hell. He came in and said it should be sweet. Yeah, he actually said that. He liked it to be sweet. Yeah. Not other, concoctions regarding, mantras, etc. Yeah. He sometimes stopped devotees, they were chanting some other mantras they heard from some other mouths, some other temples outside Iskcon. Probably wanted to keep it quite simple. Yeah. So you'll not get too much into that. You can find information about that elsewhere. There is a whole kirtan ministry in Iskcon. You can say here, consult Iskcon kirtan ministry for more information. Yeah. So we'll jump over to some quotes from Srila Prabhupada from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Let's see. Here. Yeah. So here in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adilila 7.4, is a nice verse. Panchatattva vartina Chaitanya Sangha Panchatattva lana karena sankirtana ranga. So these 5 tattvas incarnate with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and thus the Lord executes his Sankirtan movement with great pleasure. This is the Panchatattva, they have been explained. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shri Vasudeva Gaura Bhaktivinoda. So there are 5. Pancha means 5. So it's Chaitanya himself in his 4 expansions. So the purport, Prabhupada says, in Srimad Bhagavatam, there is the following statement regarding Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we have a prediction that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the incarnation of Krishna in the age of Kali, who perform what is called Sankirtan Yagya, which means chanting Hare Krishna in the streets together with other devotees, or inside the household. Krishna Varnam Tvisa Krishnam Sangupangashtra Parshadam Yagyair Sankirtana Prayai Yajyanti Hi Sumedasa. In the age of Kali, people who are endowed with sufficient intelligence will worship the Lord, is accompanied by his associates by performance of the Sankirtan Yagya. So Prabhupada says, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is always accompanied by his plenary expansion, Sri Nityananda Prabhu, his incarnation, Sri Advaita Prabhu. So I'll just list them here. You can see them very clearly. This is what we are chanting before we chant Hare Krishna. There are 5 different personalities which are invoked in order to protect our chanting. Yeah. So that's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Prabhu, Sri Gadadhar Prabhu, and Srivas Prabhu. So he is in the midst of them as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Like that. He's the original Personality of Godhead. Then you have the plenary expansion, Nityananda Prabhu. You have the incarnation, Sri Advaita Prabhu. You have the internal potency, Sri Gadadhar Prabhu. And 5 is marginal potency. So marginal potency means representing all jivas. Us. Yeah, we are also jivas. Yeah. So Gadadhar Prabhu is representing the Shakti of the Lord. Yeah. Incarnation of the Shakti. And Advaita Prabhu is representing all incarnations. And Nityananda Prabhu is the plenary expansion. As we know, plenary expansion of Krishna is Balarama. So Balarama, yeah. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna. Yeah, like that. So Advaita Prabhu is combined Maha Vishnu and Shiva, Lord Shiva. Gadadhar Prabhu is Shakti of Radha. Yeah. Yeah. So Shivas Prabhu is Narada. Yeah. And thus representing all jivas. He's the most successful human being, yeah, because he's Shakti Avesha avatar of the Bhakti Shakti, which is the strength of being a devotee. So getting in touch with him, that will help us get devotional strength. Like this. Yeah. So one should know that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is always accompanied by these other tattvas. Yeah, so tattva means truths. Yeah. So therefore our obeisances to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are complete when we say Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. As preachers of the Krishna consciousness movement, we first offer our obeisances to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by chanting this Panchatattva mantra. So the words we chant Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Then we say Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So if we want to say more Hare Krishna, should we again chant Panchatattva mantra? Prabhupada says no, it's enough to chant it just before. You can chant it 3 times, and then you can just go on chanting Hare Krishna forever. Yeah. But for each time we start up chanting Hare Krishna, then we chant Panchatattva mantra first to invoke the auspiciousness and special mercy given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to us in the age of Kali. Because here, just see what Prabhupada is saying here, that's why it's very significant to do this. There are 10 offenses in the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, but these are not considered in the chanting of the Panchatattva mantra, namely Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is known as Mahavadanya the most magnanimous incarnation, for he does not consider offenses of the fallen souls. thus to derive the full benefit of the chanting of that Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. We must first take shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, learn the Panchatattva Maha Mantra, and then chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. That will be very effective. So Prabhupada is blessing us that we can chant this and then be free from the 10 offenses. We will take a look at the 10 offenses after this also. So first a little snippet from the Bhagavatam 6.3.24, which is the story from Ajamil. Etavtala maganirra ranaya pumsam sankirtanam bhagavato guna karma nam vikrusha putra magavanya dajamilopi narayani timriyamana yaya muktim. Therefore it should be understood that one is easily relieved from all sinful reactions by chanting the whole name of the Lord and chanting of His qualities and activities. This is the only process recommended for relief from sinful reactions. Even if one chants the whole name of the Lord with improper pronunciation, he will achieve relief from material bondage if he chants without offenses. Ajamil, for example, was extremely sinful, but while dying he merely chanted the whole name, and although calling his son, he achieved complete liberation because he remembered the name of Narayan. So here Prabhupada says in the purport that in the assembly of Raghunath Das Goswami's father, Haridas Thakur, confirmed that simply by chanting the whole name of the Lord, one is liberated even if he does not chant completely inoffensively. Smarta Brahmanas and Mayavadis do not believe that one can achieve liberation in this way, but the truth of Haridas Thakur's statement is supported by many quotations from Srimad Bhagavatam, as the above quotation. So in his commentary to this verse, for example, Sridhar Swami gives the following quotation: Sayam pratar grinan bhaktya dukha gramad vimuchyate. If one always chants the whole name of the Lord with great devotion, in the evening and in the morning, one can become free from all material miseries. Yeah, so there we have it. It's a good sadhana program to chant a little bit in the morning and a little bit in the evening. Yeah, another quotation confirms that one can achieve liberation if one hears the whole name of the Lord constantly, every day, with great respect. Anudinam idam adarena shrinvan. So anudinam means every day. Adarena means with great respect, and shrivan means to, I think it means to hear or chant. Yeah. Another quotation says, Shravan kirtanam dhyanam har adbhuta karmanam janma karma gunanam cha tad art akila chestitam. One should always chant and hear about the extraordinary, wonderful activities of the Lord. One should meditate upon these activities, and one should endeavor to please the Lord. Sridhar Swami also quotes from the Puranas, Papakshayas Chabhavati Smaratam Tam Ahari Nisham. One can become free from all sinful reactions simply by remembering the lotus feet of the Lord day and night. Ahari Nisham. Furthermore, he quotes from Bhagavatam 6.3.31, Tasmat Sankirtanam Vishnu Jagan Mangala Amhasam Matam Apikauravya Vidya Aikantika Nishkritam. Yeah. All these quotations prove that one who constantly engages in chanting and hearing of holy activities, name, fame, form of the Lord is liberated. As stated wonderfully in this verse, Etavatalam Maganir Hairanaya Pumsam. Simply by uttering the name of the Lord, one is freed from all sinful reactions. The word alam, which is used in this verse, indicates that simply uttering the whole name of the Lord is sufficient. Yeah. So in that way, there's a lot of purport here by Prabhupada. And then we just scroll a little down, and here it said, Vishwanatra Chakravarti Thakur quotes the following verse from Srimad Bhagavatam: Evam dharmair manushyanam udhavatmani vedinam maye sanjayate bhakti kunyorito syava shishyate. My dear Uddhava, the supreme religious system for human society is that by which one can awaken his dormant love for me. Commenting on this verse, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur describes the word bhakti by saying, Piramai Voktaha, Ka Anya Artha Asya. In the presence of bhakti, what is the necessity of liberation? Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also quotes this verse from the Padma Purana, Nama Parada Yuktanam Namani Eva Harantyahagam Avishranti Prayuktani Tane Varta Karanicha. Even if in the beginning one chants the Hare Krishna mantra with offenses, one will become free from such offenses by chanting again and again. Papakshayas Chabhavati Smaratam Har Nisham. One becomes free from all sinful reactions if one chants day and night, following the recommendation of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It was Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu quoted the following verse: Harinama 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 Eva Kevalam Kala Nasteva 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 Gatiraneta. In this age of color and hypocrisy, the only means of deliverance is chanting the whole name of the Lord. There is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way. If the members of the Krishna consciousness movement strictly follow this recommendation of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, their position will always be secure. So that brings us now to the 10 offenses. that we want to avoid. So let's just make a new page like that, blank page. So let's see, what is the first offense? I'll get the original Sanskrit, because it's from Padma Purana also, where the other quote was. So let's see here. Be avoided from Padma Purana. Yeah. So this one was quoted by the Goswamis, and also all the other acharyas in our line are following this teaching from Padma Purana. So satam ninda namna paramam aparadam vitanote yata kiyatim yatam katam usahate tadvigariham. So what does that mean? It means to so it means to criticize the devotees. The Satan. Yeah. That's an offense. You just make it very simple here. Number 2. It also is saying, this is the greatest offense. So if you do that, we can fall down in our bhava, or you can say accumulated nice mood. Our mood can really be hampered, and we can feel completely uninspired to chant or do anything simply because of offenses. So in that way, criticizing devotees is really a dangerous thing. But the illusory energy is made up like that we very easily can take that route actually. So that's why one really needs to be very careful, and but also try to be positive. That means not just sit on the fence, but actually do some tangible service ourselves, rather than criticize those who try to do some service, because everybody will do some mistakes. Rather we can be so engaged in doing seva and chant and do all these things ourselves, so that we don't even have time to consider what other devotees are doing. Right? We don't have this kind of customer consciousness that what is this devotee doing? He's not pleasing me. No, we are ourselves the salesmen. We won't have customers. That means we're preaching. That would be the better approach. So then the next one, Shiva Shri Vishnu Yaya Guna Namadi Sakalam Diabinam Pashyat Sakalu Harinama Hitakara. Yeah, it is made to one considers the name, qualities and so on of Shiva as independent, on name, qualities and so on of the Supreme Lord. He is displeasing the name. Yep. To consider names of demigods like Lord Shiva, to be independent. Yeah, of the Lord and His name. Yeah. It's not I'm just writing it very simple. There's much more there's much more information in these verses, but we just make it simple, because that's what we usually do when we mention the 10 offenses. We just boil them down to just the very essence. Yeah. Number 3. Gurur avagya shruti śāstra nindanam tatartha vado harinamni kalpanam. Yeah. So there is more of them now. Actually, we can take one by one. So Guru avagya, to disrespected guru. Yeah, so that's very simple. And then shruti śāstra nindanam. That means to blaspheme to blaspheme the scriptures. Yeah. To consider Tatartavada. Yeah. Wait, sorry. That means to yeah, it means to yeah, what can you say? To think the glories of the holy name is exaggerated. Yeah. You can say overstated. Yeah. Is that the right expression? See. Yeah, exactly. The same thing. Overstated. Yeah, that's an offense because there is really no overstatement. So that's called Artha Vada. Yeah, to overstate something. For example, the śāstra is doing that sometimes. For getting people to be doing a little bit of dharma, they say, you can go to heavenly planets and enjoy so nicely, and it said that this may be artavada. You may not actually, they kind of doing a little bit of advertisement, but when it comes to the whole name of Lord, it is actually like that. And if you don't think like that, then we do an offense to the whole name. Yep. So next one was Har Namni Kalpanam. Yeah. Yeah, to kind of give some mundane interpretation on the whole name. Yeah. Or imaginary. Yeah. Like that. And then number 7. Let's see. Namno Bhavad Yasahi Papa Buddhi. Yeah. To do offenses on the strength of the whole name. Yeah. That is a grave offense. To commit sins on the strength of the holy name. So what does that mean? One will think that the whole name is so powerful, so one may believe that actually the whole name is taking away all sinful reactions. But one goes on doing sins and kind of use the holy name as an escape route from getting punished. But that is a grief offense, and one will not get purified actually, because the whole name is not cheated so easily. But actually, to have the full effect of the whole name, one should chant it without offenses. Otherwise, one is bound to get back again to the material whirlpool or repeated birth and death. Yeah. So Dharma Vrata Tyaga Utadi Sarva. Let's see. Sarva Shubha Kriya Samyam Api Brahmada. It is an offense. Yeah. To think that the whole name of Lord is an offense. To consider the holy name it's offense to consider chanting the holy names as another pious activity. Yeah. Pious activities are sometimes called Shubha Kriya. Yeah. So there are loads of them in the scriptures, and of course it's all for getting nice karma here and in the afterlife, going to heaven, in other words, not really for bhakti. So that is that is not really what the whole name is about. It is only about getting love for Krishna. And so we have another one, number 9, Shradadhane Vimukhe Pi Ashrinvati Yas Chupadesha Shivanaparada. Yeah. So this is not referring to Shiva. It is an offense to be is an offense to the auspicious Shiva, so to the auspicious holy name, to instruct a person who is devoid of faith. So to instruct a faithless person regarding the auspicious holy name. Yeah. So Shiva means auspicious. Yeah. Yes, and then number 10, because there are 10 offenses, right? Shrutvapi nama mahatmyam ya pritir adit damaha ham mamadi paramo namni sopi aparada krit. Yeah. So that means to despite hearing all the glories of the holy name, remains unaffected, being immersed in the bodily concept there of I, yeah, and mine, yeah. Aham mameti, yeah. Aham mama adi, yeah. So that is also an aparada. And so it's a reference by one of our acharyas. He says that in the Vishnu Yamala, the statement, yeah, that actually that the Lord is saying, yeah, Vishnu states the Lord saying the following: I forgive even millions of offenses of a person who chants my holy name, yeah, with faith. So So chanting the whole name is the way to go, and as I mentioned in another place also, there is the verse which says that to get rid of the offense to the whole name, one should continue chanting the whole name. Yeah. So we have a nice verse again, back to the Bhagavatam. It says Tan anayadva masato vimukam mukunda padara vinda makaranda rasada jashram niskinchanai paramahamsa kulaira sangai yushtad grihe nirayavart mani bhadda trishnan. And the translation says, Paramahamsas are exalted persons who have no taste for material enjoyment and who drink the honey of the Lord's lotus feet. My dear servants, bring to me for punishment only persons who are averse to the taste of that honey, who will not associate with Paramahamsas, and who are attached to family life and worldly enjoyment, which form the path to hell. Yeah, so this is Lord, this is Yamaraja speaking. This is the Lord of death and dharma. Yeah, both of them speaking to his servants. Yeah, so he has servants which are called the Yamadutas, and they are taking all the departed souls to Pitraloka, where he gives proper punishments according to, and also reward according to sins and good deeds also. Actually, I want to bring up that also. That's actually the thing. Devotees are not going to hell. Yeah. So yeah. So there are a few statements more. I don't have here. Jivana Bhakti Bhagavan Guna Namadeyam. See. Yeah, here we have it. So Yamaraj is saying here, Jivana Bhakti Bhagavad Guna Nama Deyam Chetas Chana Smaratiya Charanara Vindam Krishna Yanu Namatiya Chirae Kadapi Tanana Yadva Masatu Krita Vishnu Krityam. So Yamaraj again speaking to his servants, he says, My dear servants, please bring me only those sinful persons who do not use their tongues to chant the whole name and qualities of Krishna, whose hearts do not remember the lotus feet of Krishna even once, and whose heads do not bow down even once before Lord Krishna. Send me those who do not perform their duties toward Vishnu, which are the only duties in human life. Please bring me all such fools and rascals. Yeah. So I wanted to find a quote here also where yeah, here, yeah. Let's see. It was the, I think maybe I mentioned it before. Nama Pradhyuktanam Namane Varantyagam Avishranti Prayuktani Tane Varta Karanicha. Even if in the beginning one chants the Hare Krishna mantra with offenses, one will become free from such offenses by chanting again and again. So in other words, this is the purifying method, and also that devotees are not they're not actually see Just have to find this quote. There's a quote which says that they actually don't they don't take their next birth according to karma. They take their next birth just for actually becoming better devotees. Yeah. See if I can find the quote. Just give me a few seconds. Yeah. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur refers to a verse saying that devotees do not go to hell or take rebirth according to their karma, because devotees are already in the hands of the Lord. Yeah, in that way. Yeah, so they are again born in the material world by the Lord's arrangement. So that they can go on perfecting their bhakti, getting rid of all their anarthas. Yeah. As unwanted things. Yeah. So the devotees are really on the path of liberation. They are not treated as normal people to get material reactions. They're simply born again in the material world if they need to, if they're not yet having achieved love for Krishna, so that they can just go on perfecting their bhakti. So this is Lord's special arrangement for devotees. Let's see. Yeah, maybe we can look at some. There are some doubts in this regard. Let's see. Just do like that. Any doubts? So what should the doubts? Of course, some of the doubts were already covered in the 10 offenses to the whole name. For example, one doubt could be that I'm not getting the result from my chanting. Yeah. So the answer is that is because of offenses. Yeah. It can only be that. Yeah. So then we just have to work on our offenses, go back to the drawing board and see, where can we improve. I'm pretty sure that most of us, we actually have something to improve when it comes to to chanting without offenses. So just something about that also, that so you could say falling asleep while chanting, or mind wandering while chanting. Why? Why, if the holy name is so powerful? Yeah. So it's because of the gunas. So the first one, falling asleep, that is tamaguna. And the second one is rajaguna. Yeah, so ignorance and passion. So how to solve them? Try to get more sattvic, yeah, in goodness. Yeah. That would be the solution to that one. Yeah, because ignorance, passion is really obstacles to the whole names chanting. They're covering over. Yeah. So you can say, yeah, there are a few other objections sometimes we hear. I mean, we may have ourselves also some other doubts. Let's see if we can resolve. Yeah. So if the name is transcendental, if the whole name is transcendental, how come we can have it on our tongue? Say material tongue. Yeah. How we can utter it? Yeah. The answer is that it is self-manifested. It is it comes by its own free will. Yeah, so it's actually not a material vibration. Similar to the guru and the deities, they're also not material. They are here for some time and then they disappear again. These are the mercy incarnations of Lord. Yeah. Kali, Kala, Nama, Rupa, Krishna, Avatara. Yeah. This age of Kali, Krishna incarnates as in the form of his name. Yeah. So Nama Rupa, the form of his name. So it's an incarnation. Yeah. So similarly to to the deities and Guru, not of this world. Yeah. Okay, so what more? Although seems like that, due to the influence of Maya, illusory material energy. Yeah. These are all manifestations of Lord's internal potency. Yeah. Yeah, so in that way, actually there are a few more things also. So getting away from the doubts, we can just see some more tips for chanting from śāstra of Chaitanya, from the śāstra prayer. Yeah. So he says, Trinadapi Sunichena, Tarurapi Saishmana Manina Manadena, Kirtanya Sadahari. Yeah, so this is the thing. So there's a humility there immediately. That's the first thing. Yeah. So more humble than a blade of grass. Yeah. More tolerant than a tree, and yeah, giving all respects to others, not expecting respect for oneself. Yeah. Then one can chant 24/7. Yeah, that means always, sada. Yeah, so you see, when I was answering we should chant always, it means what is recommended is that we chant in this mood of Trinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahishnuna. Sorry, it's very wrong here. Sahishnuna. Anyway, Sahishnuna. Yeah. I have to look this up so I get it correctly. That's how I thought it was, Sahishnuna. Here it is. Sorry for that mistake. Yeah. Trinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahishnuna Amaninama Vadena Kirtanya Sadari. So what it means then? That we are chanting always is we are living according to the above verse. Right? Does it make sense? So this is called Vyanjana Vritti. One needs to understand things or what is indicated, not merely, literally. So let's see. That means, one will be chanting even in one's sleep. As I mentioned, there are three levels of chanting. One can chant manasik, that means internally, and of course that will be most of the time. Yeah, and then you have the śāstra guy is also saying some other things. See, so we get some more tips from śāstra guy. See. Yeah, here's also another one. My Lord, O Supreme Personality of God, in your holy name there is all good fortune for a living entity, and therefore you have many names such as Krishna and Govinda, by which you expand yourself. You have invested all your potencies in those names, and there are no hard and fast rules for remembering them. I'll just, dwell on this a little bit. So that means it can be chanted everywhere and at all times. And actually, it is required that one is getting to that level. Otherwise, there is no meaning to satatam kirtayantamam, to always chant the whole name of the Lord. It means there should be nothing blocking for doing that. You look at the yeah. That is Niyamita Smarana Nakala. So no hard and fast rules according to time or other circumstances. Yeah. Yatadrishi tava kripam bhagavam mama pidur devam yidishama adyani nuragaha. Of course, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is speaking in a humble way. That he says, although it is so easy to chant his name, still I don't have any taste for that. So I don't have any attachment for chanting. My dear Lord, although you bestow such mercy upon the fallen conditioned souls by liberally teaching your holy names, I am so unfortunate that I commit offenses while chanting the holy name, and therefore I do not achieve attachment for chanting. So in that way, that's a prayer out of ecstasy. Yeah. Ecstasy, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu considers that he has no taste for chanting. Yeah. So with ecstasy. So that's the perfection. Yeah. To actually not think that one is the number one chanter in the world, but actually feel that one is actually lacking. But this is not hating oneself. This is actually something different than that. It's one of the. It's listed as one of the. This humility is not fake. It is an actual manifestation of or prema, love for Krishna. Like that. So the Lord's name is eternal. Krishna's name is eternal. And fulfills all wishes. Yeah. So this how I write it. Yeah. So it says, that the name of Krishna is the perfection of the religion. Yeah. And what more? So this is also Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instructions on the glories of the Holy Name. But it is full of rasa, transcendental taste. Yeah. And then implication of that being absorbed in the worldly rasa, you can say, one misses out on the transcendental rasa of Krishna. Yeah. So in that way, devotees of Krishna are called rasa gya, knowers of rasa. Yeah. I already said what rasa is. It means transcendental taste. Yeah. So that's why, that's why they live differently than materialists, or than others, you can say. Have other priorities, etc. Yeah. So what are their priorities? We mentioned there are the 5 most important activities in devotional service. So they will, get into these things more than others, obviously, because they know that there is the nectar. So it's including, the five most important such as, because they find, the real nectar of life there. Yeah. So nobody can understand them other than other devotees. Those who are on the same level, they can understand them. Yeah, because it's a hidden field for mundane people like that. Let's see, do I have more to say? Yeah. So back to the whole name. So sound as a spiritual tool. Yeah. So it has long been known that sound vibrations are very powerful. So according to Vedas, the whole world is made by sound. Yeah. Called Akshara, representing the Sanskrit alphabet. Alphabet, is that how you write it? Is that correct? Okay. Yeah. You can say each worldly element is represented by a letter in the Sanskrit alphabet. So I saw that this is connected with Lord Shiva. So for Shaivites, this is something they get into. We're not getting too much into that in Gaudiya Vaishnavism. I have the impression we are just chanting the whole name of Krishna, basically. But anyway, there is also a description of the whole world being made up by the sounds. So that's why you have the concept of thus the concept of liberation by sound, the usage of sound is there. Yeah, that is called anavritti shabdat. Anavritti shabdat. Yeah. Vedanta Sutra explains. Yeah. Anavritti shabdat means one gets freedom from this material world's activities by the help of the sound. And the most powerful sound of all actually the sounds are called mantra. Yeah. Yeah. These sounds to liberate us from matter are called mantras. Yeah, specific sounds. And the process of liberating ourselves with the help of mantras is the Vedic process. Yeah. Sometimes called Tantra. It's Tan, our body, or Tanu. Yeah. So that which is weaved. Yeah. And then the weaver is the tantra. It is weaving. But then you can also say plus mantra, yeah, as tantra, yeah. To release the soul from it. Yeah. Tra also means to be helped or saved or something like that. Yeah. So Tanu Tra or Tanu and Mantra or something like this. Yeah, so it's a method. And other tantras can also be called yoga, to get reunited with the absolute. Yeah. So yoga means union. Of course, yoga has so many meanings, but you can call it that. That you get united with absolute truth. Yeah, which can be impersonal for those who are impersonalists, or personal for those who are personalists. Yeah. Dealing with the Lord directly, however, is called bhakti. Yeah, that can be done simply by nama. So you don't even need a mantra. So in reality, Hare Krishna mantra is more like the names. Such as Krishna, Rama, Achyuta, Govinda. Yeah, one can go on chanting so many different names of Krishna. This is bhakti. Yeah. So Hare Krishna mantra is more names. So in that way, since Hare Krishna chanting is about calling Krishna, it's about connecting with Krishna. In love, yeah. Their requirement for correct pronunciation is downplayed. Yeah. So in that way, there are no requirements of the performer, as usually would be the case with other mantras or tantras, methods. Other than sincerely chanting his holy names. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So you have the repetition here. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. So why do you have the repetition? It is following the rules of mantra, which is to repeat in order to liberate the mind. It puts the mind in a trance. But at the same time, it is also a personal calling. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Hare, that is a reference to Sri Radha, the consort of Krishna, like this, who takes away, or who steals. Hari, that means Hari, yeah, who steals his heart, yeah. In the same way you can say Hari is also said he's stealing the hearts of his devotees also, or he takes away everything that's blocking devotees from coming to Krishna. Yeah, and then Krishna, of course, means the all attractive Lord. Yeah. Krish means to draw near. Yeah. It's a verb. Yeah. So he's he's drawing everybody closer to him. Yeah. Attractive. And then you have Rama. Is the happiness. Yeah. Source of happiness. For who? For Radha. Yeah. Radha Rama. Yeah. Is another name of Krishna. He who makes Radha happy. So that's the Hare Krishna mantra. Of course, there are many other interpretations on the Hare Krishna mantra, which is given. So in that way, it's possible to meditate on the name. And the chanting of Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhaktivinoda first. That is helping to set the tone, because Pancha Tattva helps set the tone of a proper mood. Yeah. Get proper mood there. So it's described by one of the Gaudiya Vaishnava acharyas that by chanting Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, one is reminded of their mercy in giving us Lord Krishna. Yeah, because they have given us Lord Krishna. They started there in West Bengal in India, and through the parampara and through their preaching, it spread all over the world. At least it was able to come to us here in the West. So the idea, which Acharya explained, is so that our hearts will be softened before we get on, before we chant the Maha Mantra. Yeah. So in that way we are more ready to the Maha Mantra, and in that way we will not make such offenses, because our heart has become soft. That's the idea. Yeah. So why is it called the Maha Mantra? big mantra. It's singled out as the main mantra for Kali Yuga. In the Kali Santarana Upanishad. Yeah. Lord Brahma is asked by his son Narada Muni, what is the best way to overcome the ocean of trouble, which is the age of Kali? And Lord Brahma is answering by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And he says, Iti Shodha Shakam Nam Nam, Kali Kalmasanasanam, Nata Paratarupaya, Sarva Vedushu Drishyate. So he says, Nata Paratara Upaya, Sarva Vedushu Drishyate. So there is no better upaya or method found in all the Vedas. Yeah. And other places also, as I mentioned before, Harinama, Harinama, Harinama Kavalam, Kala Nasteva, 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 Pataraneta. Of course, that's not a direct reference to the Hare Krishna mantra, but it said that Harinama means the whole name of the Lord. But there are a few references here and there that is spelling out the Hare Krishna mantra. But the most common reference is this Kali Santarana Upanishad. So the main thing is to glorify the Lord. Glorify the Lord's name, yeah, in Kali Yuga. Kali Doshini Rajam Asti Mahatguna Kirtana Deva Krishna Saya Mukta Sangha Param Rajet. It's another quotation from 12th canto in Bhagavatam, that this is an ocean of faults. Like Kali Yuga is an ocean of faults. But there is one good thing. That simply by chanting the holy names, kirtan, sankirtana, one can get liberation, mukta sangha param rajat, and go to the supreme abode, param vrajat. Yeah. So thank you so much. So I think we will stop there. So Hari Bol, which means chant the whole name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.